All right, so let's get started. Sit forward in your chair, and as much as you can during class, stay away from the chair back, and that will make your core muscles, your spinal muscles, they're sort of forced to hold the spine upright. As soon as you lean back in the chair, those guys all take a break. Get a little vacation. And so, as much as you can, don't use the chair back. And then, of course, if you're working those muscles and they're not used to being strong enough to hold you upright, they're going to get fatigued in a little bit. And as soon as that happens, then of course lean back and don't get that burning sensation in the back. Usually, right in the middle back between the shoulder blades, you get a burning sensation until such time as you work those muscles enough that you can sit forward in the chair without those guys burning. All right, so feet need to be on something. So if your chair feels too tall, bring a blanket or something underneath your feet so that you can ground your feet down. And if your knees feel higher than your hips, put a blanket or something on your chair to raise the chair up. Chairs are not one size fits all, so we have to make adjustments with these blankets and props. So I'm a bit of a taller body, so I put the blanket on the chair. But if your legs are shorter, or your body is shorter, or your chair is too tall for you, you're going to need a lift under your feet. All right, and then just take a moment to tune into your breath. We're going to do this breath that I call the Strosh breath. And I think we've done it before, but it may have been a few weeks. So you make like a straw, like you're holding a straw with your lips, and breathe in through your lips that are imagining to hold a straw. That'll be your inhale. And when you exhale, say shh. We're going to try to make the exhale last longer. That straw breath inhale can sometimes dry out the mouth. So just take a moment to re-moisten before you say shh. And we're going to count the number of breaths. This is just a good habit to get into, counting the breaths. It can be what you do if you wake up in the middle of the night. This is actually a really good breath to do in the middle of the night. Sometimes I tell people to do this in the middle of the night, and later they come back and say they just imagined doing it and didn't actually, make their lips in a straw shape or say anything out loud like shh, but just imagine doing it, and it worked to put them to sleep. But I think it helps if your body actually has the sort of that body memory of doing it. So to count, I'll show you this trick that yogis use. You're going to move your thumb around on your hand, and you've got 12 sections here, 3 sections on each finger to move your thumb around on to count. So you can count up to 12 on this. And you can count any way you want. You can move your hands across sort of one row, then another row, the middle row, and then the row down toward your palm. Or you can start and do the fingers this way. We're going to count 6 breaths, so you just need 2 fingers, and I just use these 2 and kind of go around in a circle. And maybe go up the index finger and down the middle finger, or however you want to count 6. And when you're done with 6 Strosh breaths, just relax back, relax your hands and your mouth and everything. Everybody's breath will be a different pace. So just when you finish your 6 breaths, if your breaths are shorter, you'll finish sooner. If your breaths are longer, you're gonna maybe finish after me. I'll maybe move my finger along as though I've done a couple breaths while I'm talking here. And if you are still finishing up when I'm done, I apologize for that, but just finish the breath you're on and then join me. Let's say that's about 6. So let's start with the hands palms down and just a note on that sh sound so that, we use that sh sound to say be quiet to the kids or to anybody. But that sh sound is in a lot of different languages is part of a word that means peace, like shalom, or in Sanskrit, it's shanti. So I'm not sure how English got the P sound for peace, but in many other languages, that sh sound has to do with peace. All right, let's start with the hands on the lap, palms down. And we're going to round the spine on the exhale with the hands going toward the knees. And then on the inhale, go do a little back bend with your spine, slide your hands back towards your hips. And your head can look up if comfortable for you, and look down when you're doing the rounded spine. So it's an inhale when you do the back bend, and an exhale when you do the sort of forward bend. All right, and then just come to neutral. And next we'll do our laterals to the sides. So bring your hands to your hips. On the inhale, lengthen, and on the exhale, lean over toward one side. Inhale back up. Exhale, lean to the other side. Now, when you lean to one side, you can feel how that outside hip wants to lift. So your job is to feel like you got two strings attached to your sit bones, and those strings are being pulled downward, keeping you anchored and grounded. So even as you head over, don't allow your hip to lift up. So keep that hip kind of pulling back down. It may get a little lighter on the chair, but don't lift it. Don't go give into that. Just give a little anchoring pull there to it. All right, if you've got want to go a little further and got the pose feels good that you'd like to stay, we're going to add a stay here. You can slide your hand down the chair leg and find a place to land, or bring your hand to your block. We'll just stay right here, and again, keep that outside hip rooting down. Squeeze the bottom tips of your shoulder blades in toward each other. Broaden across your collarbones. Let's go. And then inhale, come on back up. And we'll go down to the other side. And anytime we stay in a pose, if that pose didn't feel comfortable for you coming in and out of it, then don't stay in it. And you might try continuing to come in and out of it while we're staying, but never stay in a pose where that your body is hurting in. All right, that outside hip is grounding down, broaden across the collarbones. Take a breath in. All right, work your way back up. We're going to go down and do a stay again. over, come to your landing place, and it could just be your hand on the chair and bend your elbow more and more to go down a little further. This time, same things, ground the outer hip, shoulder blades, tips coming in toward each other, collarbones broad, and then if comfortable, raise that outside arm. And the more you stretch it up and over, the more you'll get a stretch through that side waist. And you're in charge of how deeply you stretch. So take it over as comfortable for you. And you can even move it toward the wall behind you a little bit. And even rotate the torso just a millimeter toward the ceiling, your chest toward the ceiling. So you're trying to let your heart see the ceiling. And then put that arm in reverse back to the hip. I'll stay here one more breath with a shh. And then inhale and come up. So if my shh is longer, just when you're done with the shh, come on up and out of the pose. Let's take the other side. Exhale over. Find your landing spot for you. Grounding the outer hip, bottom tips of the shoulder blades together, collarbones apart. Add the outside arm as much as comfortable for you. Sometimes the shoulder is what talks to us, not the side stretch. So you find what works for you. It's fine to keep that arm back at the hip. Rotating the torso toward the ceiling. All of those things I'm giving you deep in the pose. If it's already deep enough, don't listen to the next thing. Just let it go in one ear and out the other. Take a breath in. And then work your way back up. And just pause here, close the eyes, take a breath. Imagine saying shh on the exhale. Another breath. All right. Next, we'll take a twist to either side. Let's inhale the arms up part way. And exhale, bring opposite hand to one knee and the other hand back behind you anywhere. Inhale back up to center, arms out wide. Other side, exhaling. Inhale out wide. And repeat. Inhale comes to center, exhale to the side. All right, this next one we'll add a stay. And again, only if comfortable coming in and out of it do you hold the pose. Exhale over. Glue both sit bones down, pull them down as though you've got strings attached to your sit bones. And against that downward pull, lengthen up, pull up out of the crown of the head. And feel like the pull through the crown of the head is attached to the top of your, the top vertebrae of your neck. And that pull makes your spine longer. And the spine's also rotating in this twist. And you're going to squeeze your shoulder blades in toward each other, especially the arm that's in front. Take that shoulder blade in, even if it makes that arm back out a little bit. Broaden across the collarbones. We're going to do a sh here. Inhale. And then inhale, unwind, facing forward, arms out wide. Second side. Just take your time in the pose, just feeling all those points. And sometimes you need to stay with one of those areas because that's your difficult spot. So both sit bones pull down, lengthening up and out through the crown of the head. That upward pull is lengthening the entire spine. Watch those bottom tips of the shoulder blades. Broaden across the collarbones. Inhale, and we'll take a shh breath out. And then inhale, unwind back to center. And exhale the arms down in front. So those exhales, I think they sort of bring out the relaxation response and make the pose suddenly, instead of feeling like, oh, I'm really working hard in a pose, it makes the pose feel just a little easier, a little lighter or something. So see if you can notice that for you. All right, I'm going to scoot forward all the way to the edge of my chair and come down to the legs and feet. The more of your thigh that's off the chair, the easier it is. So you want to bring those sit bones right toward the edge, not so far that you're going to tip forward or anything. So I also use my hands back behind me. All right, we'll start with one leg at a time. Heel down and reach that leg out in front. Exhale, bend it back in. Inhale, it goes out. Exhale, it comes in. So the breath sort of works opposite of what you're doing. So your leg goes out, but the breath is coming in. The leg comes back in, but the breath is going out. In general, whenever a limb is going towards straight, it's an inhale. And when it's bending, it's an exhale. And let's switch to the other side. Let's do a few times on that side. So instead of thinking about the leg going out or in, maybe think about when it bends, it's an exhale. And just taking the leg as straight as it's willing to go today. All right, let's go back to the first side, and we're going to start to take it out on the sides. And for a little extra strength work, when you're sliding, push down into the floor just a little bit. You'll make your leg muscles wake up a little bit. Push the heel down when you drag that leg back in. So there's just a little more activity in the leg muscles. And of course, you're in charge of how much you're pressing. And it's a little balancing act there. Can't push too much or the foot won't slide. So just enough that you still can slide it, but there's just a little more waking up of those leg muscles. All right, work your way back up to one of those sort of middle angles off to the side, and hold right there and take a point and a flex. When you flex the foot, hold right there and make the muscles work as though you're going to lift the leg, but don't actually lift it, but just feel those leg muscles anticipate having to be lifted. And then make circles with your ankle. Relax the knee when you do that. Other direction. And come back to activating the leg. Push the heel down as you activate the leg. Feel like you want to bend the knee to lift, but the heel is kind of stuck on the floor. And then push down to bend that leg back in. So just playing with working those leg muscles a little bit, activating them, and then just in and out again, pushing down into the floor as you work your way back up to the top. And then we'll do the same on the other side. Heel down, leg goes out and back in and out toward the side, different angles out toward the side with a little pressure into the floor, working those leg muscles, strengthening the leg a little bit as you go. When the knee bends and comes back, the leg comes back in, that's your exhale. Leg going towards straight is your inhale. All right, and then work your way back toward one of those middle angles. Hold right there with the heel down, flex the foot, and activate the leg muscles as though to lift the leg up off the floor, but don't actually. And then push down into the heel and bend the knee, like the knee is trying to lift the leg, but the heel is stuck down. And then let's point and flex with a relaxed leg. Circles, a couple of times in each direction. All right, and then bend and straighten as the leg works its way back up to the top, pushing the heel down as you go. And push the heel down on just coming in or just going out, or both in and out. That's what I'm trying to do, both the in and out, but Sometimes that's hard to do on both. The work doesn't matter. You just work those leg muscles one side or the other, one way or the other. All right, when they're both back in, let's take both heels on the floor and stretch the legs out. And as though to lift, don't actually, but as though to lift the legs up. So make a muscle in your legs and then push into the heel and as though the knees are trying to bend to lift the leg, but the heels are stuck down. And then relax, push the toes down like pointing. And we're going to push the ball of the foot down toward the floor and raise the heels a little bit. Activate your thigh muscles again as though they're going to lift the legs, but the toes are stuck down. And then relax the legs and bring them in and out, loosey-goosey. All right. All right, let's come up to the wrists and just whirl the wrists around in a circle, reverse directions. Then the whole elbow gets involved, circling in one direction and then reverse. And the whole arm circles with the whole arm. I need to move away from the wall a little bit. A couple of times in one direction and then reverse it. And you can make huge circles or little circles and just working with what, a lot of people have shoulder issues. So just work with your range of motion. When folks have shoulder issues, a lot of times they can't raise the arms above the shoulder height. So your circles could just be down here and do both directions. All right, we got the arms a little warmed up now. We're going to bring the strap in. Just lay it across your legs for a second. I forgot to show this first without it. So to sort of, we're going to push and pull against the our own body push. We've done these before to get some arm strengthening, but you can also pull. So I'm just kind of linking my fingers or together, or you can grab your wrists. You're going to pull apart. So, and then we'll have the arms in different positions. And we're going to use the strap to pull apart. The strap just puts a little more space between your hands and allows you to keep that good alignment with the bottom tips of the shoulder blades in toward each other and the collarbones apart. When we get closer in, we tend to kind of round the shoulders a little bit. So if you're not using a strap in just your hands, please remember to keep your shoulder blade tips in toward each other and your collarbones apart and try to avoid that roundedness that we can get when we start doing these strength things. So what the idea is to get your arm bone, your humerus bone, your upper arm bone aligned in the shoulder socket in a good place before you strengthen those muscles to hold it there. All right, so grab your strap, and strap is held just about shoulder width apart. So you can take your arms out and the arms are roughly parallel to each other or wider. So this would be sort of the closest I would recommend you bring it in. You take it in and then bend the elbows out to the sides and lift the elbows up. Squeeze those shoulder blade tips in and begin to pull the strap apart. Pull on the strap. And as you're pulling, the tendency is to hold the breath. So we're going to inhale and do a out, exhale. Pulling when you say shh. Pull harder. And then relax. So now people should start to get shorter because that activity is hard work and they don't want to work so hard, but try to keep your long and pulling the whole time. All right, we're going to do that again. And this time we're going to take just a slight different upper, higher or lower, your choice. So about shoulder width apart, bring it in and decide if you want to go a little higher or a little lower. Shoulder blade tips in, collarbones are broad. Inhale. And relax. And one more, we'll do a little bit lower or higher if you did lower last time. Different position, in other words. And relax. And you can just shake your arms out whenever they need to be shaken out. All right. This next one, we're gonna pull like this. And so, if you're not using a strap, you're still gonna do the same arm movement, but just make a fist and make a arm muscle as you do this. Otherwise, it's sort of like a bow and arrow, and you're gonna take both hands together and just turn to one side as though you're gonna uh, shoot the bow to the side. So we got a little twist here, and then slide the hand down the strap, pulling as you go. Keep your elbow up, your shoulder blades come together, your collarbones go broad till the hand hits near the other shoulder, the opposite shoulder. And we'll inhale here and pulling the whole time on the shoulder. Let's go the other way. Turn, twist to the other side, hands almost together. Slide, squeezing your shoulder blades together as you go. You can feel that arm that's moving, shoulder blade comes in place as your hand gets near the its own shoulder. Inhale, pull harder. And relax. And just shake those arms out. We're going to come back down to the feet with the strap. So we'll be using the strap to help with some of the same kind of muscle activity that we did a moment ago with the legs. So if you don't have a strap, you're not using a strap, you're going to just repeat what we did before. Otherwise, bring your strap down underneath the ball of one foot and stretch your leg out. And again, sit toward the edge of the chair. So you're going to sort of, so the strap is across the ball of the foot, and you're going to sort of push on the ball of the foot as though you're kind of pushing on the accelerator of your car or the brake of your car, depending on what you feel you need, huh? And your hands are pulling. So because the arms are involved, we need the back heart alignment. So get your shoulder blade tips in toward each other, broaden across the collarbones, and push. And as though you're going to lift the leg, you can lift the leg if you like. You've got that strap to help you. And then inhale and pushing and pulling, pushing with your foot, pulling with your arms. And lower that leg down, switching to the other side. And I just take my other leg out in the strap and then slip the first foot out. Strap is on the ball, across the ball of the foot, back heart alignment. And if you're not using a strap, you don't have to worry about all the upper body right now, just the lower body working. Push, lifting the leg is your choice. Inhale. And so when if you're lifting your leg up off the floor, the tendency is to let this quad muscle relax because the strap is doing the work of lifting the leg, but you need to make this leg muscle active, even if your arms are helping to hold the weight of the leg. Let's go back to the first side and we'll repeat this, but at a different angle. So I'm going to take my leg out just a smidge. And you can turn in the chair if you like, but the idea is that your hips stay straight and the leg is off to the side. So if you can, keep your hips squared in the chair. Strap across the ball of the foot, back heart alignment, leg lifting if you like. If not, you're just going to make a muscle with your quadricep, your thigh muscle, and push into the strap, into the ball of the foot. Arms are holding on with a good back heart alignment. Leg lifted if you like, making a muscle. Inhale and lowering the leg, switching sides. Other side. Get your good alignment in your heart. Leg lifting if you like. Hold on and inhale. So you can feel when you push the accelerator that really activates the leg muscles a little more. But when you're using the straps, there's a tendency to activate only down near the foot or the ankle and let the thigh muscle go. So you have to consciously get the thigh muscle involved. And just to do this without a strap, and to show you can do this without the strap, you can just hold on. And you're going to imagine pushing into something with that ball of the foot. An imaginary accelerator is there. And let me just back up. Imaginary accelerators there activate all the leg muscles. And if you lift the leg or not, doesn't matter. It's as though you lift the leg like we did before. And if you want to lift it a little bonus, it's a little more work, muscle work here than it is. The strap helps take a load off. Back heart alignment. And you can push into the chair if you like to get some upper body work. Inhale. Other side. Do off to an angle. Leg muscles working. And as you're ready, push into the chair, push your accelerator. And then release. All right. Feels good, huh? Shake it out. And so most of yoga in the beginning, like beginning yoga classes, we focus on gaining in flexibility and opening joints. And we don't really do much with strength until you get to the sort of more advanced levels or more advanced poses that require sort of lifting your own body, body parts for strength. But it's very important that we bring the strength aspect in. So yoga, I think many yoga teachers err on the side of gaining in flexibility, and we now know that that wears the joints down. It's not good to just go for flexibility. We need to bring strength in. So even when you're uh, working whatever we're doing, so we're going to go back to those 6 directions of the spine. Well, we'll just do the laterals and the twists. And I just want to show how you can bring in a little sort of resistance work into the pose. And if you feel like you create this resistance work in a pose, that makes those muscles a little harder. All right, let's do the twist. I think the twist is a little bit easier to feel. We're going to use the arms, inhale them up, but then exhale them to your ribs. And feel your rib cage twist and feel like your hands are helping you twist, and hold the twist there, however far you get over. But let your hands try to unwind you back to center, but you resist your hands. So first take your hands into the twist. Your hands move your body into the twist, and then feel your hands trying to move you out of the twist, but you resist that. And you might feel those spinal muscles right up against the spine wake up, and they're resisting being untwisted. They want to go into the twist, and your hands are trying to say, come out of the twist, and then just relax. And even that effort in your arms works your biceps and maybe the deltoid a little bit. That's the muscle on the top of the shoulder. All right, so use your hands to take you into the twist. Hold your twist from your core. Hold your twist, even though your hands are trying to unwind you. You try to twist deeper as your hands try to unwind you, and see if you can wake up those deeper spinal muscles. Hopefully that makes sense. So you can do that with your hands like we just did. And now we're going to do it just imagining somebody having their hands on us. So inhale, the arms up partway, and exhale, twist. Now just imagine there's somebody behind you taking you into the twist deeper with their hands. And then you hold your twist. Stay where you're at. Hold your twist, even though you feel them trying to untwist you. And keep breathing. We're going to do a sh breath here. Inhale. All right. So that's really just with our mind. We created resistance and worked a deeper set of, like a deeper layer of muscles. Let's do the other side. Inhale up. Exhale into the twist. And feel that your friend behind you taking you into the twist deeper with their hands on your lower side ribs. They take you in a little deeper. And then you hold your body, you hold your ground gained and feel like they're trying to unwind you, but you don't let them. When you feel those little spinal muscles waking up, then inhale and take a sh breath. All right, and then inhale back to neutral and exhale the arms down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale over to one side, and you can land on the chair leg or the block. Now here, we're going to imagine somebody's got a hand on your ribs and that upper shoulder, pushing you down into the lateral, but you're going to resist and push up against them. So they're pushing you down, you're pushing back up, and you can use your hand there to push. So you're trying to push yourself into the lateral deeper, but you're resisting not from your hand, your lower hand pushing, but resisting from your core muscles. Resist and as though you're trying to get back up to neutral position. All right, and then come on back up. Let's do the other side. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, over you go. Find your lateral, and then put your hand on your lower ribs there, side ribs, and push. The rib hand pushes, but your inner muscles push back against that hand, trying to get back upright, but that hand is keeping you down. Keep breathing, and then come on back up. All right, let's take a cat-cow here, and just see if you can tell. Oh yeah, it worked. Those muscles did something. Yeah, that we woke something else up. And so that's bringing some strength work in, and also, pushing against the floor and things like that. Another thing you can do is, even when you're in your chair or standing, you can make your legs feel like they're being pulled apart, but you're trying to keep them back in. So a little resistance work in the legs. So feel like someone's got a hold of your leg on this side, and maybe a strap around your leg, and they're pulling that way, and someone else has the strap over there pulling. They're trying to pull your legs apart, but you're pushing back in. You can do this sitting or standing, or lying on your back in bed. Bend your knees and just don't let your feet move. Don't let your knees move, but you can just feel all your leg muscles waking up as somebody's imaginary friend is pulling your legs apart and you're holding them in. Your imaginary friend is just helping you strengthen your, like a strength training partner. And then shake it out. You can just shake it out by moving, bending and straightening your legs, and sliding them on the bed or the floor. And if you're standing, you can just shake a leg out like that. Shake a leg out. All right, let's see, what else can we do? Oh, so that was the legs being pulled out and you resisting. What if the friends are now pushing your legs in toward each other, but you're going to hit back out? So this is sort of another set of leg muscles. So you can use your hands on the outside of your thighs to push your legs in toward each other, but your leg muscles are resisting being pushed. So they're going to hit back out. And you can do this first, just get it going with your hands, but then let go of the hands and just imagine somebody's pushing against your legs and you're pushing back out against it. And the same leg muscles are working, but you save your wrists. And then relax. And again, you can shake it out, heel slides. All right. Feel good? All right. So I would I recommend doing some strength work in your practice on a regular basis. Maybe every other day or something, just do that. Or even in the same practice, if we repeat a pose several times, maybe one of those times add some strength work in it. And the level of intensity that you bring in, you can vary that by day. So some days really do a lot of effort, and other days, just that extra little bit of pressure into the floor. So, like, you can take your legs out now with maybe just feel what more your 100% effort is, and then back off and just do 50% effort. So you still are pushing down and you can feel your leg muscles, but you're not overworking. And then 25%. So play with the intensity level that you do, and you'll still work the leg muscles, but you won't sort of wear yourself out on a day-to-day basis. So strength training is good for folks with osteoporosis and or anyone who has sort of overly loose joints, who's been working on flexibility instead of strength, or folks who have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. They need some strength and stability in the joints. The important thing is when you do strength work is that you have good alignment. So you don't want to be rounded in your shoulders if you're strengthening your shoulders, and or slouched if you're working on the spinal strength. And the legs, we don't have to worry about the leg alignment too much in a chair, but standing, you would want to make sure you're not tucked or tilted in the pelvis as you're working the legs. All right, we're gonna just uh, do some cat cows and releasing things now. So inhale, lengthening into a back bend. Exhale, relaxing into a forward bend. Oh, I just thought of one more thing I wanted to do. We'll have to do it next week. I'm running out of time. All right. And then you can slide back in your chair if you're not already leaning back in the chair back. You can rest the spine now. We've worked it hard today. And just do a scan from top of your spine down. See if you can tell that we worked the spine today. Scan down the arms and legs. Maybe do the arms first and see if they feel like they got worked a little more today. And down the legs. And it's odd for me. I'm feeling my left leg and my left arm are worked more. Which either is because I'm right arm dominant and my left arm is just weaker, and so it's feeling it more, or I did it more effort on one side. So I would just make sort of a mental note of that, and next time I would really focus on my other arm. See if I can switch that over. And if not, then I would just know, oh, it's because my right side is already stronger. I sort of know that's not the case because I broke this collarbone, and this side, my right arm, is actually not my stronger arm anymore. But maybe it's catching up by now. It's been 2 years. All right, and when you've scanned from sort of head to toe, just feeling what feels worked, now see if you can scan and feel what area feels the most relaxed. And from that area, feel like that area is uh, able to spread and share the relaxation feeling. So, wherever that area is for you, start moving that same feeling, that relaxed feeling, into adjacent areas. Everybody's area is going to be different. And some folks, as soon as I say relax, find your relaxed area, spontaneously some area relaxes, like maybe the mouth or the eyes relaxed. Go with that. Just continue releasing and relaxing other areas, like little bubbles popping up, bubbles of relaxation. And then at some point, begin to come down to your feet and feel like your feet start to get just a little heavier with relaxation. All right, and then we'll start to move the feet. You can point and flex or just wiggle your toes. And then let the hands slide on the thighs, back and forth toward the hips and knee, from the hips to the knees. And a little spinal movement. And we'll call that a day, or at least a yoga class. Namaste. Thanks for joining me.